It's family movie night. You're gathered around the TV with your mother, your father, your cousin, your sister, your brother, fish, goldfish, gopher, mole. I don't know what you have going on in your household. And you pick a movie for family movie night. It's rated R. You don't think much of it. You think, well, maybe someone will get shot. Someone will say frick. Someone will die. Who knows? You don't think much of it, and you put it on the TV. And it's fine for the most part until maybe 30 minutes in, when the two main characters are at Applebee's pounding down Dollaritas, and they go back to one of their apartments, and all of a sudden they are on top of each other. And you hear, and there's whimpering, and there's moaning. And you are inches away from the people that gave birth to you. And you look at the drywall, you think, oh, that drywall, I never noticed that was there in my house that I've grown up in my whole life before. And you look at the carpet, or you play with your dog, you're like, oh, who's a good boy? He's so sweet. You do everything, but look at the TV. You act so uninterested. Like there's not two people exploring each other's bodies on display for your whole family to see. This is a learning and growing experience that everyone has to go through. It is a canon fucking event. And I think it is important and should not go away. Because I read into this tweet that said, a study claims that 48% of Gen Z feel that sex and sexual content is not needed for the plot of most TV shows and movies. 51.5% reportedly want to see more content focused on friendships and platonic relationships. To which I fucking replied, did they only poll virgins? Dumbest thing I've ever read. I don't want y'all to think I am some crazy, maniac, sex-crazed person. I am not. I am a normal person that believes in love and all the realities that come with love. And one of those realities is sex. Unless you're a fucking Mormon or like a nun or something, then boo, why are you even watching this podcast? Why are you even here? Why are you here if you're a nun? Also, I'm sorry if I sound really weird. My nose is plugged. I'm sick as a dog and my ears are completely muffled and I can't hear my own voice. So that's really awesome. I'm sorry if I sound like I don't even know what I sound like. So, you might, I'm sure, like, based off of that study, probably half of you already disagree with me. You probably think, Ben, I actually don't like when I'm watching a show and all of a sudden the two characters are getting into it. I don't think it furthers the plot. I think it's useless. And I think a lot of the time, you know what? That damn well might be the case. If you're watching, like, an action movie and the two characters are, like, like in a heist. They're in like a bank heist and they just robbed a bank. Then all of a sudden they're like on a pile of money and they're like going at it and freaking 10 inches deep. And sorry, not getting into that. Yeah, that's a little annoying. That isn't really furthering the plot. It's just trying to, play with your senses, trying to like get you riled up and get your emotions like throughout the boring ass like 3-hour money heist movie. I don't fucking know. Sometimes sex scenes are just thrown in for no reason. And I think a lot of the time, that's dumb. That's stupid. There's truly no point. Duh, it doesn't advance the plot. And also, a lot of the time they're not even done well. Like, it's like they fully have their clothes on. And then it's like, how did you just, like, we're not getting into the specifics of how the cookies are baked. But I think that in a lot of pieces of movies and TV, it is very warranted. And I think that sex scenes can be kind of a beautiful thing for like two characters to experience. Now, that's and by the way, I know I'm like fucking geriatric Gen Z. Like I'm like the far end of like, I think, what is a Gen Z cut of like 1998? I don't know. I feel like I say that every podcast to make myself feel better about actually decaying. Like, the way I can't hear anything right now. I'm fucking, like, 2 steps away from the nursing home. Here's the thing. There are so many worse things in movies and TV shows than sex. If you are wincing at a sex scene, but have no problem with, like, someone getting shot in the fucking head in a movie, there's problem number 1. Problem number 2 is when you watch a movie, right in the little corner, it says the rating. It says R. And not only does it say the rating, it says what is going on. Like, especially on Netflix, it's like smoking, intercourse. We got bombs. We got fucking nuclear bombs. We got swearing. We got Satan himself, satanic imagery. Like, they pretty damn well warn you. So, I don't think that, like, you can ever be in a situation where, like, oh, I can't believe I just saw that. I'm scarred. Motherfucker, you watched the show. You clicked, yes, I would like to watch this R-rated movie. If you're like a fucking 8-year-old and you just got scarred, that's your parents' fault for showing you that, or you should not have unlimited access on your fucking iPad to Netflix. So, I can think of, like, a few, like, movies that I watched where there was, like, truly beautiful sex scenes that actually furthered, like, the plot. They were done, like, very intricately. It wasn't like a song playing, just, like, covering up every fucking little nuance that was going on, and it was like they're just, like, both on top of each other and, like it wasn't anything like that. It's, like, very real and realistic, and I was like, wow. And then it, like, actually plays into the rest of the story. It's possible. It's out there, and I'm not gonna, like, say go watch it, because I'm not going to be like, go watch this sex scene, because, you know, we keep it Christian on Drama Mama. But here is where I think I can kind of agree with that study. Shows like Euphoria. Actually, I think they literally used pictures of Euphoria for this, like, thread, if I'm not mistaken. No, they didn't. I'm fucking hallucinating that. There's certain stories where it is fucking weird. It's so weird to put in a sex scene. Euphoria and a lot of like, kind of teen, like, high school shows. Why the fuck are you simulating that when these characters are in high school? That is so weird. That is so really weird. Obviously, that's the thing that happens. Like, we're not gonna, like, put our head in the sand like nuns and be like, what? The kids are doing what now? Duh, that happens. But for shows that are okay, if there's a sex scene, the show is gonna be like, the movie is gonna be rated R, or the show is gonna be rated, like, TVMA or whatever it's called. So it's adults watching. So why the fuck are you making a show for adults to watch? Adults playing kids doing that. That's so weird. That's really fucking weird. Was Euphoria an overall good show? Yeah. Sorry. Guilty. Like, it was a good show. But, so sex scenes like that, even if it advances the plot, we don't need to be seeing that. And the other thing I want to point out is, like, a rating truly does not fucking matter. Like, I know I just went on a whole rant being like, well, it's your fault if you watched the R-rated movie and you saw a sex scene and you got traumatized. At the same time, who the fuck is paying attention to, like, TV show or movie ratings? Like, who is, like, factoring that in as, like, an active decision on if they're gonna watch something? Like, I was watching R-rated movies at fucking age 10, I think, because I had unlimited internet access, and that is probably true for every person that is younger than me. You can probably go and watch whatever you want, and unless, like, the ops and the feds are, like, checking your fucking iPad, like, you're probably gonna be fine. So, it's not, like, that's why I think shows like Euphoria are actually made for young audiences, despite them having, like, TVMA ratings and having violence and sex and drugs and all blah, 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 blah. But they just, shows like that, like, need to fucking tone it down, because, once again, like, just very icky, like, simulating that. Moving on from that, what I wanted to get to next, which I kind of alluded to earlier, was, like, there are so many worse things to be portraying in TV shows and movies. Now, obviously, I think the biggest conversation needs to be had is, like, we need to teach media literacy above all things. What media literacy is having fucking critical thinking when you watch a movie or a TV show. So, for example, if someone does a bump of cocaine and then drives their car off a bridge, you don't think, that would be kind of awesome. Mom, can I borrow your car keys? Having that as a bare minimum, I think it should be taught in schools. I don't think it should be left up to parents to like teach their kids that what is on TV is not real. I remember I saw this like crazy fucking statistic, and it was like I think kids under the age of 10, like for the most part, cannot tell the difference between like an ad and the program that they are watching. They think it's like all one thing, and they don't understand the nature of ads, that it is like literally just there because someone paid for it and it's to sell you something, and it is like not part of the show. Like kids like genuinely do not know that and can't pick up on that, which is so crazy to me. And I think it needs to be taught in school. So President Biden, wake the fuck up. Like literally wake the fuck up. We need to teach media literacy in schools. But as I said, there's so many worse things that can be shown. Because obviously, if you're watching a TV show or a movie, like you're not going to do exactly what the character is doing, but some things rub off on you. And, you know, people obviously know that TV shows and movies are not real, yada, yada, yada. But, you know, what characters do, especially if it's a character that you like, sometimes people will, like, model themselves after that character. Like, subconsciously, consciously, I don't know the psychology on it. But if there's characters in a show that are, like, merely just having sex, well, unless you have, like, 3 feet or some shit, like, you're probably going to do that one day. So it's not like, I don't think it's like horrible to show that. But in shows like Euphoria, where they have like 17-year-olds doing like Molly after Molly after Molly after like LSD after like, that's probably worse, I would say. I think drug depiction and tobacco, like smoking depiction in shows, is arguably probably the most harmful thing. And by the way, I just want to like be fully clear. I'm not for like censoring like kind of like edgier, darker things in shows. I think they have a time and a place when done well in media, but drugs are definitely way worse to see on TV than like I remember I literally think like this applies to me because I think the first season of Euphoria where Rue was like talking about when she first like discovered drugs or something, and she like pops like a tab of Molly or something. I actually don't even remember. And all of a sudden she's like having these like beautiful, colorful like visions, and she's like with her girlfriend Jules, and they're like, wow, whoa. I popped an edible right after that. Boom! Like it's so easy for that to rub off on people. So obviously if there's like darker kind of drug, or like if they make drugs appealing, that's gonna have a rub-off effect, and I think that's what should be like focused on, if anything. What are the other things that like earn ratings? Violence. I'm not on like in the train of, or the cloud of thought that like violent movies create like people who want to do violent things with guns and stuff like that. I don't think that's the case. I think most of the time horrible, horrific events that happen like result in like huge amounts of violence and loss of life and injuries are due to like the mental health crisis in this country and the zero social fabric to like help someone that's just wanting to do evil things because they want to lash out at the world. I don't think it's because they watched fucking Fast and Furious. No, what's another movie with like guns? Shit, I don't know. I can't. I'm drawing blanks here on like action movies or like violent movies. Or video games. It's not that either. But obviously in your lifetime, you could probably go your whole lifetime without seeing a dead body or see someone get shot, but it's in like every other movie or TV show. So I would say drugs and violence. Drugs probably worse than violence in shows, but still, sex is way better to see on there because it's not causing harm. And I don't think I'm like the most like crazed, like sex positive person, but I think it's healthy. I spat so much money at that, Jesus Christ. I think it's a healthy, natural human thing. Obviously, there's STDs and there's pregnancy and you can get human trafficked if you fuck around with scary people. But overall, most of the time, it is a healthy, natural human thing. It is why you are fucking here watching this podcast today. What else do we have? Oh, consumerism. This is like a really interesting one to me because this is something that I saw, I want to say it was like European ratings do this now. I feel like I like logged into Netflix when I was in London and there was a movie that I was watching. It was like rated blah, blah, blah for like profanity, swearing, and consumerism. And I was like, whoa, that's an interesting one. That's an interesting one. Because I think that is like kind of like a sleeper subject in movie and in TV shows that is sometimes harmful. If you see movies or consume movies and media that's just like literally all about billionaires or like The Wolf of Wall Street, I'm thinking, or like American Psycho, where you're shown these like alpha male fucking like characters that have like a bajillion dollars. I don't think that's healthy either a lot of the time. And especially when American Psycho, which was a movie made to be a satire of these freaking like looks maxing psychotic men that are robots that literally just value money and are narcissists. And then people taking that movie that was a satire on that and like relating to it and like wanting to model their lives after a fucking serial killer. No! And like other movies like Fight Club too, like same kind of thing. Like that's so bad. But just overall, you know, I'm drawing blanks on like exact examples, but there's so many examples of movies and TV shows, even just like reality shows like Keeping Up with the Kardashians. That's not healthy media to consume. It's interesting, it gives you like a fun perspective, but people that are like really into the Kardashians and shit like that, very concerning. And I guess the final kind of thing that at least I can think of is like profanity, which I am very opposed to like censoring profanity. Fuck, I saw this like, oh my god, I think I was on like, I was watching Laufey, I don't know how to pronounce her name. She's like Icelandic. She's like a jazz singer. And someone commented being like, no, sorry, I'm just fully hallucinated that. I was catching up with like this one rapper that I used to listen to. I don't even fucking know why. I think it was NF, I want to say. He's like a rapper that like he doesn't swear or anything, and he's like a white rapper and keeps it like very clean. But there was like one of the top comments on his video was like, you know, I'm so thankful for, or they're like, I'm a third grade teacher and I love finding songs that don't have any profanity, and I want to show my kids that the best music out there doesn't have any profanity at all. And then there was a similar argument that I think I saw on Twitter. Oh my god, I have like brain fog. I think I actually have COVID, y'all. Like the brain fog combo with like my hearing loss combo with my nose being plugged is like taking me out. I'm so sorry if this is even like legible to hear, but you know, just the general kind of like argument that people who swear a lot swear because they like can't form like intellectual thoughts, and they use it like for emphasis because they don't have like a big vocabulary. I think that is incredibly incorrect. I think cursing and swearing is one of the most beautiful facets of English language, it's like truly some of the only words that have color. Obviously, you can use a big word here and there that is so perfect in a certain sentence, but to like discount an entire song or artist or even genre sometimes, like there's so many people that just discount all of like hip hop and rap. I hate fucking using that like name for that genre, but like they'll discount that entire part of media just because there's swears in it, and they will think that it's like a lower form of art just because there's swears. That is so wrong and disgusting to me, because it is simply not. Like, I think there's, okay, say you're like, you have an artist that doesn't swear and an artist that does swear. You could maybe look into the artist that does swear and think, oh, okay, why do they use so much profanity? Is it because they're careless and they're trying to show that they're like big and macho and tough? No, I think there's a deeper story. Maybe they're swearing because they are from, like a marginalized community or something. And I don't know. But there's always like a deeper meaning. Like, people don't just like swear for no reason. I'm getting off topic. How did we end up talking about music? I don't know. But profanity, I don't think, is something that should pull people away from like not watching a show. I think we rate things too strictly just because it has profanity in it. And obviously, like, profanity as a part of language can be used in so many different ways. So like, there's like stubbing your toe and like saying fuck, but there's also like maybe screaming at an elderly lady and saying fuck you, like a little bit worse. There's so many different ways, but I think just blanketly rating something like PG-13 or R just because there's an F word is one of the worst parts of censorship. And there's like entire movies that will like cut out swears and completely alter their script and their language just so they can get a better rating, just so like more people can see their movie. And I think that's so sad. I think like you should be able to do whatever. I guess like there's no way to judge this because like who could be the judge of morals? But I wish there was a way to like judge movies and pieces of media on like maybe the morals of it or the message of it, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many people got shot in like the fucking chest in the show, or how many people were like macking on or like getting their like melons cantalouped or some shit. Like, I feel like the message at the end of the day is what's most important. Or like, and some movies and TV shows, some of my favorite ones don't even have a message. It's like movies and film and TV in itself is its own art form. Like, you can go to the art gallery. I remember being going to an art gallery at age 6 and just seeing boobies, and I wouldn't be covering my eyes because it's art. It is. Obviously, I'm not seeing that and be like, oh, woo, God. Like, no, I'm not doing that to like a painting of a lady from the 1700s that's like holding an angel that looks like a little like bridge troll. I'm not like getting a little okay, not getting into that, but like censoring art, I think, is just so scary. And obviously not every single movie or TV show probably even like qualifies as art. But as I've become an insufferable film bro over the past year or so, I found a lot of movies that like I really like are just like so beautiful, like in every sense of the word, and are like some of my favorite pieces of art. Let me go through my letterbox. Once again, yup, I'm plugging my letterbox again. This is not sponsored. Follow me on it. Like, what are you doing? I want to say Melancholia. This movie, one of my favorite movies ever. Boobs in it. Sorry, I don't know why I just like singled that out. I'm just trying to say that art can have boobs in it, and it doesn't discount the quality of the art. I've been doing a lot of thinking, too, about, like... No, I'm not even going to get into that. I was going to get into, like, a whole freaking 3-hour long like dissertation discussion, but I truly can't do that. Okay. Well, I am very curious though. Like, let's do a Ben of the Week certified poll. Let me know if you prefer to not see sex in movies and TV shows, or if you don't care, or you think it's cool. And sometimes when done right, it's beautiful. Yeah, I'm very curious to hear how y'all feel about it. But with that all being said, let's get into the drama of the week. All right, this week's drama comes from @Abomations. They say, I'm an openly trans male, and for 2 years now, my mom has put me in this pray the gay away school. I often feel uncomfortable in class when I'm always addressed as a girl, or the time a kid had a full-on mental breakdown when someone from a church called her gay. I beg my parents, who are usually very supportive of me being queer, to enroll me somewhere else, but their answer is always, but you're getting such good grades. Ride it out until you graduate high school. Any hot takes from Drama Mama? I am so sorry. As someone who went to a Catholic school, what a horrific environment that is. I don't know if there's like a way you can get like concrete proof that like this school sucks, or just like show them that like it's like actively ruining your mental health being there. Hopefully that'll be enough to like let them enroll you somewhere else. And like also just tell them, if I can get good grades here, I can get good grades anywhere else. Like, grades are not specific to this place. But I'm sorry you have to be there. Frick that place. And when you graduate, maybe an earthquake will hit and it'll fall into the ocean. Who knows? You can always pray for that. But thank you for sharing for your drama. If you want me to read your drama on a future episode of Drama Mama, just comment it down below on the YouTube video version of this podcast, and I'll read it. Keep it short, Buster, one sentence. Some of y'all be doing whole dissertations, but I appreciate it and I love reading it, and I love you and appreciate you, and thank you for joining me once again. I will see you next week. Bye, my sweet little Drama Mamas. I love y'all. Bye!